Good morning. We are officially starting chapter 10. This is the last chapter of the book. Yay. Alrighty, 10.1, make predictions. We do have some vocab here. So statistics is what we've already been dealing with, but it deals with collecting, organizing, and interpreting data. Survey is a method of collecting info. And next section, 10.2, we'll learn different types of surveys. Population is a group being studied, but sample, sometimes the population is too large, so part of the population is a sample. So if I wanted to make a prediction about all 6th graders in the U.S., I can't realistically survey all 6th graders in the U.S., right? But I could take a sample size and take 5 6th graders from each school in the diocese, and that would work, right? Or 5 6th graders from each school in the state of Kentucky, right? And that's, so a sample is a smaller portion of the population, and we can use the sample to make predictions about the whole. Alrighty, so we can use the results of a survey or past actions to predict the actions of a larger group. So the students in Mr. Smith's class brought photos from their summer break. The table shows how many students brought each type of photo. What is the probability that a student brought a photo taken at a theme park? Alrighty, so all students in Mr. Smith's class brought photos. So 6 brought photos from the beach, 4 from campground, 7 from the house, 11 from the theme park. It says, what is the probability that a student brought a photo taken at a theme park? Well, we know that 11 students took the photo at a theme park, but we need to find the total. So we've got 11 plus 7 plus 4 plus 6, and that is a total of 28. So the probability is 11 out of 28. I believe for your homework, I wrote it all 3 ways. So fraction, let's see, decimal, it's about, so I'm going to round it because it's 0.392, so I'm going to do about 39, and then our percent is about 39%. Don't forget, if you're rounding, use the about sign. Alrighty, so this is very similar to chapter 9, right? Example 2. There are 560 students at the school where Mr. Smith teaches. Predict how many students would bring a photo taken at a theme park. So his sample size, his sample was his class. He's using his class to make a prediction about the entire school. So if there are 11, so I'm going to use a different color. Unfortunately, I think I forgot to erase this example. So 11 out of 28 were at the theme park, but it says out of 560, how many would have taken the photo? So 28 is the total of the sample size. So our total of the population is also going to be the denominator. Now we can look at this. Here we go. And see, okay, well, 28 to 560. We can probably make that an equivalent ratio, right? So I could say, okay, well, 560 divided by 28, that gives me 20. So I can multiply, right, 11 by 20 to get the numerator. 11 times 20, we get 220. So 220 people would be the number expected, I don't know why I abbreviated it, but then kind of didn't, would be the number expected to bring a photo of a theme park. So you can use an equivalent ratio. However, I think I only use that for your homework one time, you will likely not use equivalent ratios, and instead you will just multiply it. So if you know that about 39% take photos of the theme park, then you're going to use that fraction. And in this case, because we rounded the percentage of the decimal, keep it 11 over 28 when you multiply it in your calculator. So 11 over 28 times 560, then you'll get 220 exactly. So again, if you have to round, if it does not come out a nice clean percentage or decimal, then multiply the actual fraction by that number. So typically you will use this second option, but I wanted to show you the first one as well. Alrighty, the using equations to predict is what we just did. We're writing, really it's an expression. We do not need to make it an equation. But a survey found that 85% of people use emoticons on their instant messengers. Predict how many of the 2,450 students at Washington Middle School use emoticons. So the survey, that sample, 85% used emojis. So we're going to use what they found in the sample and apply it to the population. So we're going to do 0.85, because when you use a percent, you need to make it a decimal, times 2,450, and we are going to get, let's see, 2,082.5. Now, 2,082.5 is not kind of an acceptable answer for the number of people, right? So we are going to round that, and we're rounding up, so it's about 2,083 people use emojis at the middle school. Alrighty, example 4. The circle graph shows the results of a survey in which children ages 8 to 12 were asked whether they have a television in their bedroom. Predict how many out of 1,725 would not have a television in their bedroom. So I will say our most common mistake is to use the wrong percentage. So it says not have a television, so make sure you are using the correct number. Right now we're working with the 54%. Predict how many would not have a television. Alrighty, so we're going to take that 54%, I'm going to convert it to a decimal, and multiply it. So that was our sample. We're multiplying it by the population, or using it to predict a future, right? And let's see, 0.54 is 1725. We're going to get 931.5. So that's about 932 students. Alrighty. Example B. What is the prediction for how many more students, okay, so that's important, how many more students would not have a TV than those who do? So how many more? That means we're looking at the number of students who don't have a TV, and we need to subtract the number of students who do have a TV to find how many more don't than how many do. So we've got that 932. We're halfway there. We're going to do 932 minus, but we need to figure out how many have TVs in their bedroom. So we're going to do 0.46. 46% have TVs. So times that 1725. We get, I'm going to scoot this down. 793.5. So that's about 794. So that's how many do have TVs. So we need to subtract those who don't, 932, minus, those who do, So 932 minus 794, and we get 138. So the prediction is 138 students. There are more, right? 138 more. Alrighty, so your homework is pretty straightforward. Not a ton of work, but be sure you are showing all, steps. So show that number that you're multiplying, show it as a decimal, and let me know if you have any questions. Have an awesome day.